Hey everyone, Old Blue Cord back again. I'm gonna do let's call this the spring garage walkthrough, and it's kind of just a recap of all my little projects going on in the garage. It is a cold day today, dogwood winter. I don't even think it's 50 degrees, so you might hear the wind blow a little bit. And of course, we'll start off with the Honda. And not too much going on with that. I went ahead and I'm still trying to work on my oil temp project. And I got a nice oil pressure gauge, which I think I had, but then I also went ahead and bought myself an electric temp. And I went with the water one because I like the sweep of it a little bit better than the oil temp. They had an oil temp one for the same price, and I didn't like how the dial the scaling read, I guess you should say. So I kind of like this one better. Probably should have went with a digital, but this one's pretty good because, I feel like we're going to be in the 180 range most of the time, 190 for oil, probably less, I'm guessing. I'm pretty close with that. I wanted to get an oil, I'm going to read off the oil filter housing because that's really the only place on the Honda that check the oil pressure. And I can't find that housing right now, which kind of stinks. So I'm going to have to take mine off and hopefully not destroy it by adding a fitting to it. It should be fine, but got to be careful with stuff like that on old cars. I got some parts from Rock Auto. And as far as, I talked about doing the alignment with the car. I got a High-Zoot guy to do the alignment and kind of look at the caster. And I took it over to him, and of course, and this is the right thing to do. When you do an alignment on a car, you want to make sure all the suspension components are good and tight and everything. And I did tell him that the rear, the upper control arms that I use, to adjust the camber and all that, and I did some videos of that, the bushes are starting to get kind of loose. And he said, he could do the alignment, but that could affect the toe. And I told him just don't adjust it because the car handles great. That's the one big thing about the car is it doesn't really feel like it needs adjusting, but besides the caster. So he said come back, with the right, once I got the parts put on, and I told him I can't get those arms anymore. So I went ahead and bought the stock style arm that we all know and love. And on Rock Out Closeout, these are like $5, I think, $6. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these two arms on both sides. That way everything's nice and tight. And then I'll take it to him and let him align it. And then I can try to figure out how to rebush those arms that are in the back. And that's going to be like my summer project, I guess you could say. But other than that, everything's doing, with the Honda, everything's doing pretty good. Check the battery. Yeah, I've got it unhooked now. This little cheap Die-Hard battery's been doing good for me. Now, a couple of you guys are going to notice, I did do a video, and then I pulled it down. I've got this new desk set up here, and I love it. And then I got a small laptop computer for it. And then I went ahead and got Premiere Pro. That's the Adobe version for editing videos. And as you can tell, my video editing is just horrendous. Well, Premiere Pro is extremely hard to learn. And I think I ended up I just totally uploaded the wrong video. That's all on me. We'll talk about that whole Premiere Pro thing, but so I'm just redoing the whole video. It's just way easier for me to do a 10-15 minute video than spend 7 hours editing it and not coming out with anything good. But then I did a video a little bit, but I got my new shop manuals for the Scout, shop manuals for the international pickup truck. Pretty excited about that. I also got a manual for the Jeep. They gave me it's just like a little key, USB key, maybe about that big. And it's 9,000 pages, so I got some reading to do. It looked very comprehensive, though. It looked like the factory manual that I've seen online, or so I think it is. So pretty excited about that. Manuals kind of help you give you an idea of what's happening and stuff like that. And I really wish they kind of did these electronic, because I would have been that way I can just use the computer setup and not get greasy fingerprints all over everything. I'd probably buy paper too, but because over time these manuals, like you can tell on this one, it's starting to get, I've had this since mid-80s, and it's getting, it's getting frazzled, obviously. But I've lost the cover to it, and I put this hard cover on there to kind of protect it. And then you can see these other manuals, how they start to peel up. I really shouldn't keep them in the shop. Of course, the air conditioning and heat and air still doesn't work. We'll go over there and take a look at that. So as far as the heat and air, it's that EMI unit, and I bought Freon for it, so that's like almost $300 of Freon. I've got the nitrogen tank, I've got the nitrogen regulator, I've tried using that already. I got some hoses, but my buddy came over to check it, and he used R22 gauges, and the low side is actually 340, and the low side on his gauges, I think it was 200 or 220, but the scale wasn't right. So we tried to use the high pressure on the low and this and that. Didn't have the right fittings. It's whatever this size fitting is that I have here, it's the next size up. I think that's quarter, and you need 5/16, so you need adapters or you need new hoses, and I really need to get a right set of gauges. And my buddy said he'd come help me do it. I got that little, he wants to vacuum it down, and that's the right way to do it. I've got this little pneumatically controlled vacuum deal. I've used it on cars before, but on a household unit, if you want to vacuum it down for hours, he might look into a vacuum pump. So we're getting into some money. I mean, it's several $100s with the nitrogen bottle and all that nonsense, and then it's almost $300 in Freon. I probably still need at least those gauges. If you get a decent set, I don't like buying stuff in China. You're looking at probably almost $200 with adapters. Still into it, but I'm still kicking myself about that unit. I should have just bought a more expensive one and got somebody who knew what they were doing to put it in. But especially on a day like today, because it's probably not even 50 degrees in here, and I wish it was warmer. But that's where we're at with the EMI unit. And then, the carburetor. So yeah, the Quadrajet, I lost that little clip to the needle. And look what I found. I found the whole kit by mistake. Well, not by mistake, but just searching for something else. So that always works that way. But I think that's the old needle. Yeah, because the tip is kind of wore. And there's that little clip that I lost. I don't see if you can. I'll keep it moving slow. Yeah, look how tiny that thing is. So somewhere's on the floor in this shop is that clip. And this one doesn't even look like the right one to me, but that's what I've been missing. So Shazam, I got that. So I probably can use this carburetor. I've got to figure out exactly how. I think we did something here with the gasket. I noticed this gasket was torn and stuff, and I think this little needle, we were using the gasket to actually push everything down, and then that's what made it run so rich. I'm thinking that's what happened. My buddy helped me with this carburetor, and the last couple things he did to it, it ran great, and I didn't mess with it. So yeah, so that's where we're at with the Quadrajet. But okay, so somebody asked me about the Thermoquad, and I got a gasket for it finally. And that was another, I went all over town, the performance places, which obviously carburetors are out. Performance places just sell Holleys. And I needed this this is a Felpro 6273. It's for all the big block cars, 73 to 84, yeah. This was hard to find, and then if you do there would be like $29 a piece. Well, it's a $7 gasket. So anyway, that's the fit for it. Somebody on the Binder Planet wanted to know what's a good gasket for a Thermoquad. I like the fit of this one. It fits good around the bores right here. Some of them hang, and then I always just trim the gasket if they hang a little bit. And you always want to check your throttle blade opening when you change gaskets. And that was a video I did a few years ago where that shop threw this gasket on there and then called it good, and it was like literally hanging over the bores like that. So you got quarter throttle. That's how, yeah, not very smart. So got that nice gasket. It's got the embossed. I don't know what that would be called, but they're embossed there. So when you tighten it down, you have something to squeeze against, and you're not really just deforming the gasket. These little embossments stop that from the bolt holes. So that's my Thermoquad. I can't flip it over one-handed and happy about that. So I think I'm going to use the Thermoquad first. That's all about the hard start thing with the Scout. I'm close on that project. Like I said, this fuel pump stuff, these electric pumps, they have to be gravity fed. That means your tank has to be higher than your pump, and that's kind of hard to rig up. And I think I might even damage this pump trying to pull out of I tried to pull out of a jug from the top, and I think this pump didn't like it. So still not quite there yet. I'm hoping to rehab the mechanical pump on the truck itself. I got a little plan for that, but so we haven't gave up on the hard start. We're close. I need some nice weather in a day, just a full day to go ahead and just finish the job and concentrate on it, which sometimes when you work 40, 50, 60 hours a week, not always possible. I think that should cover everything that's going on in the garage. It's getting a little out of control mess-wise. Like I said, I bought some cutout parts at Rock Auto. Some of the stuff came out good. Some of the stuff, let's see what we got here. We got a little gasket. Got this lug nut. They had them really cheap, but they're made in China, so I'm glad I only bought one. So that's for the Honda. That seal's for the Honda. Rear arms, like I said, I didn't spend that much. The manuals cost me $50 a piece, I believe, which is actually a good deal. And like I said, we're going to hopefully get the heat and air working. Camaro's collecting flowers, and the battery's in not too bad a shape. I don't think I have a meter on it, but I can't get it charged much past like 12.4, which is 80%, which is okay, but it's a 2018. So time for a new battery. I got kind of a plan for maybe a lithium-ion car battery. Don't know. Thinking about it. There's some expense involved. There's maybe getting the correct charger for it. There's also, does it start in the wintertime, which obviously this car doesn't get driven in the wintertime. Not a big deal. Yeah, but it's kind of be a fun project. Change the battery. It's in the back someplace. I don't even know. I'll have to figure it out. I want to do it myself, but I don't want to mess up all the computer stuff. So I got to do some research on that, with a alternate power supply or something. The battery charging station over there is doing great. Liking that real good. I keep all the electric stuff in those drawers. I actually forgot where my drill was, and it was in there right where it's supposed to be. Yeah, so that's about it. I think that covers everything. I kind of forgot some things the other day on the video, and I tried to put 2 videos together. It didn't come out. The editing was terrible. Apologize for that. But this video, 13 minutes, that's probably enough. Like I said, old Blue Accord. Look at 3gs.com for the Accord. Binder Planet for the International Scout, International Pickup. And Camaro6.com for the Camaro. There's good stuff on there. A lot of good stuff on there. Now, I don't really have like an E85. I talk about E85 a whole bunch. I don't really have a whole lot on that, but yeah, I'll find something maybe good for informational purposes. And like I said, thanks for looking at the channel. Appreciate it. Got over 200 subscribers now. I'm pretty happy about that. And look forward to getting the car out, the Honda especially, once the weather finally breaks. And yeah, we'll keep you all updated. So that's the spring 2024 video. I'll get this one uploaded hopefully by the end of the day. Old Blue Accord. Thanks for looking. Bye.